Welcome back to MSI 2024 here in Chengdu, China. I'm Medic, I'm joined by Jatt, and we're here ready, rolling through the draft already. Allowed on the blue side, GAM elected to go on red. It's Senna, Tahm, Kench, and Taliyah for Loud, and GAM have the Zeri, Nautilus, Ahri combination.
Yeah, and during the break, we were trying to figure out why GAM would have picked the red side again after already losing on the red side, and we thought it would be related to flex picks. Nothing in here screams flex pick to me whatsoever. They did change up their bans, you would hope, but nope, they didn't do that either because it was Jax, Lucian, Varus. They banned Jax, Lucian, Varus, so 6 bans were exactly the same. First pick was exactly the same. The one change was when they picked the Nautilus away, so it's a little bit less versatile of a lane, like a mid-game lane swap thing that Loud can pull off with the Senna Nautilus, but Senna Tahm Kench equally as dominant in the laning phase. So we'll just see. GAM thinks the Nautilus was a really big deal and that they were going to be able to pick it up in the 2-3, so that's my best guess to why they decided to go red side again, was so they could control the Nautilus.
Nautilus just has so much CC and has point-and-click CC later in the game, which is very powerful, especially into something like a Zeri. So EasyLove locks in the Zeri. He's played that 3 times through playoffs, only won 1 of those 3. Bans are Olaf and Lee Sin by GAM here, leaving up the Poppy ban, which doesn't really matter as much. You're not playing like a Rakan and everything they were playing in game 1, so you don't really need that Poppy ban. Twisted Fate, again, removed, likely alongside a Ksante here for Loud.
Yeah, I mean, Croc still had, it's tied for his second most played throughout the spring split with Poppy. I think Poppy would be decent against Nautilus, Zeri, Ahri, so they might pick it. It would make them pretty low damage and push Robo into a much higher damage champion as well. So, you know, I'm a fan of the adjustments that GAM has made moving into this game 2 because they lost game 1 by a lot. So they do need to make some pretty big adjustments, and at least in their champion picks, everything is different so far.
And Levi's gone to comfort as well. Second most played, 86% win rate on the Wukong. When he cracks this out, you know he means business. The question is, will it be enough for GAM? Because it wasn't purely Levi that was the problem. In fact, it wasn't really even Levi that was the problem in game 1. It was more of a coordination issue across the entire team. Loud very good at winning out in the team fights. There's the Viego. Ksante likely final pick here for Loud. That is locked in.
Yeah.
Where do GAM go for top lane counter?
Yeah, Robo with an amazing Ornn performance, which you don't get to say that often. But it was an amazing Ornn performance in game 1. Blind picking the Ksante here in game 2. And Kiaya, you know, it's time to do some heavy lifting if he wants to keep GAM alive here. Him and Levi with the continuity for this team. Urgot locked. We've only seen the Whippo Urgot. It was very effective. I do like it into lower range comps that need to come into you. Not a ton of things that need to come into them, but he should at least be able to have a bit of a strong showing in the side lanes against Robo's Ksante.
And again, it's comfort for Kiaya. It's not one of his most played, but he has got 15 games on across the course of his career, 60% win rate. Like, in the end, when you're in this spot and your team hasn't had as much time to practice together and you're struggling in the series, sometimes it's best just to go to things that work for you individually and try and win out through lane pressure rather than trying to outmaneuver your opponent's entire.
Yeah. Backs completely against the wall here. And I think this would be a good time to lane swap if they want to try it.
For GAM?
For GAM. I think for GAM, because the Senna is not going to obliterate the turret that quickly. I think Senna Tahm beats the Zeri Nautilus right off the bat, and if they can trade anything to get the Zeri ahead early, that's a window where they can find some success.
Do you want to do a lane swap?
And I think Urgot's pretty hard to dive as well.
Come on,
I think he can.
Urgot, it's quite hard to dive.
Like again,
Zeri survives.
I love
pushing the top lane.
I love the theory of lane swapping. I don't actually like watching lane swaps.
I like watching lane swaps. So we can have both the theory and the practicality covered in this game if GAM decide to do it. In game 1, neither team lane swap. We just saw standard 2v2 bot. And I wonder if we'll just see that here again. Maybe you see the Senna moving away from the bot lane as well. Tahm Kench, you have the double TPs, which can make out-macroing your opponents a little bit easier. But for now, it looks like everyone is just going to their respective normal positions on the map. Loud 1 game away from a matchup with Fnatic tomorrow. Obviously, FlyQuest and my brain isn't tight, PSG have a rematch as well. And we'll see if Loud can clean out this series and go to the next stage, not the main stage, but the next stage, and have a shot at making it to the main stage against Fnatic.
I think Loud Fnatic will be a very exciting series. I think FlyQuest PSG is a very exciting series. So
I agree. It's interesting to see how they match up against each other. Obviously, FlyQuest PSG, a rematch of the series we saw on day one. Game one, very close. PSG taking that out. The rest of the series, I think, did start to err towards the FlyQuest side. Whippo's Urgot as well, very wide. Made it quite difficult for PSG to react. GAM, though, going to get early pressure in this bot lane, get control of the bush, which can help you pushing into the Tahm Kench in the center, but Tahm very tanky. It's hard to bully him out of the lane early on.
Yeah, and I do think that Loud was a little bit prepared for a swap with the teleport, but they're very happy to not partake. What a wild invade there by Kiaya. It does delay Croc a little bit, so well done. He's really not going to lose that much up top. So what I mean here is GAM can play this a little more aggressively now because they have the Ignite advantage versus just the teleport on the Tahm Kench.
And they have the information that Croc is on top side, which Kiaya very gracefully gave them. So Kiaya now spotted on the ward as well as he goes over to his Gromp. Levi started bot last time. We saw both the junglers mirroring each other in the early game. Likely to see that here again. RedBert and Root fighting for this level 2, but they're not going to be able to get it first. EasyLove just needs to last hit that final minion. RedBert, Root respect it, and will back away.
Yeah, and speaking of respect, Robo's got to respect that top lane Urgot as well. I mean, if that he landed, it would have been pretty devastating. Nice hook. Good poke.
But poke back onto EasyLove as well. More sustain on the side of Tahm Kench Senna as well. A piercing dart can just heal you both up.
I gotta say, it's so satisfying as Senna when you can get 2 souls off of twice hitting the AD carry and then twice hitting the support.
So very nice. Ward seen here by Tinowns. That means they know where Levi is as he paths over to his Razor Beaks. The ward in the bush there placed by Levi. And across the board, relatively even here in this early game. Junglers going to opposite sides of the map. Wonder if EasyLove's just going to back. I was wondering if they'd stay for like one more wave, but is going to back, has his first reset stopped, and then goes for the second in the tri-bush.
Yep, so stable in the bot lane where it's was looking a little bit less stable as in the top lane, but Robo playing this lane very intelligently. It didn't get frozen against him. It was able to crash. Didn't even need to have Croc come up and bail him out. So if this game is to break in GAM's favor, I think a lot of it would have to do with Kiaya really having a big-time performance on this Urgot.
Because if you can melt through something like the Tahm Kench, that execution really helps you, like chunking out those, those healthier targets. And then you have the possibility of follow-up from the Ahri, the Zeri with a lightning crash. You have multiple different avenues into a fight. If Kiaya can get ahead, we've already seen, as you say, at MSI, how strong Whippo was. Yeah, I mean, it's particularly good against Tahm Kench, just because of the way the gray health and the shield works with the Urgot ultimate. Once it locks on, and his health drops below that execute threshold, you just start pulling him. And so it just makes it really difficult for the Tahm Kench to time his gray health or even actually use it properly when he's up against an Urgot. Let's see if that interaction does end up occurring. Big breakpoints for the Urgot, level 9 when you have max ranks of your Purge. Because you can just keep it toggled on indefinitely. And then level 13 when your passive is fully leveled up as well, means that you get more of those shotgun knees. Very easy for you to do quite a lot of just like incidental damage in fights as well with the shotgun knees. Obviously you're targeting one person, but someone else is getting need, someone else is getting need. It's a big problem. Just for those of you who don't care about the minutiae of Urgot, I don't know, mute the stream. When he's 13, 2.5 seconds per leg, they basically never down. Once he's, it's actually one of the, it's the best level 12 to 13 power spike in League of Legends. Yeah, I can give you that. Yeah, I think that's true. Probably. It's early game, it's like 20 seconds, right, I think? It's really high, it's like really starts at like 25, and even 12 is like 5 seconds. Yeah. It's a huge jump for the Urgot. Let's see if Kiaya can get towards there. Elio hooking RedBert here in the bot lane. Last Embrace going down, but Root just wants to trade onto EasyLove. Doesn't really matter if you get the Nautilus, though. If you can get this Zeri low, she doesn't have the option to jump into the fight as she desires. Croc going for the Razor Beak steal here on the reset. Sees that Levi's on the other side of the map. Levi maybe looking down towards taking away Razor Beaks of his own. It's going to be a camp for camp exchange, but Levi spotted on vision as he goes in. Yeah, maybe a fight happening in the mid lane here, but it's level 6. They most likely just get an ult if they get anything. Oh, Root steps forward, is hooked. No Devour yet for RedBert, obviously not yet level 6, rooted up. There's the Abyssal Voyage forward, EasyLove able to dodge to the side of it. RedBert still has the thick skin, but really well played there by the GAM bot lane, able to avoid the damage and put out some of their own.
Yeah, liking this a lot more. I mean, in game 1, when the lane phase was incredibly close, we're thinking there's the sense of inevitability that Loud is just going to win because they had such incredible scaling. In this game, it's not as clear-cut, right? The Zeri can scale exceptionally well. When Urgot hits level 13, he's also going to be really strong. So I really do think that it's not like GAM got completely blown away individually in game 1. They just got slightly pushed over in laning phase, and then the team composition knocked down the house. So much better start here, and he's got him. He's got him.
Okay, credit to Kiaya for getting him with the Disdain, you know, buffering the knockup, but what was Robo doing? Like Q3ing under a tower?
Yeah, I want to see this again. Because, like, there are levels to solo kills and knockout punches. Like, there's the knockout punch where, like, I really get you, right? Or there's one where I just, like, hold out my hand and you run into it in full speed.
Yeah.
Like, both of them are technically knockout punches and solo kills, but there's levels.
Robo, I think he probably thought Intofo strikes back all out immediately and didn't anticipate the Disdain from Kiaya, but...
Yeah.
Just one of those things. Kiaya played it well. Got the kill.
Him.
Yeah. Gets the Fear Beyond Death. Starts to scale up. Has played his steel cap. TP's back into the lane. Meanwhile, Croc is doing the grubs. Levi pathing up towards his Krugs. Not yet level 6. Still needs... Oh, it's actually almost a whole level behind Croc right now. Has lost out on about 3 jungle camps in total. Have another look at this.
So the turret's already on him. Yeah. I think he really... thought he was going to be able to knock him in the wall, take him on the wall,
make it all out, yeah, but didn't anticipate the buffer of the E, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit of a misplay there by Robo. Well played by Kiaya to get the kill.
Man, that's a big risk to take.
It was unnecessary. It was
I don't even feel like he kills Urgot if he takes him over the wall. I don't even think he was close enough to killing him.
You chunk him and maybe you ghost away, you know, to try and chip him away while the minion waves under tower.
Yeah, so you deny like 5 minions.
Yeah.
And you risk 400 gold.
But we did say in game 1, they were playing patiently, they were playing slowly, and we wanted to see them be more aggressive. Well, Robo did that.
And here's the problem when you have a whole game of not playing aggressively. When you try and play aggressively, you suck at it. That's what happened in 2020.
We'll go with that one, Jatt. We'll go with that one for now. So about a 500 gold lead for GAM through this early game. Honors even in the mid lane. The lead mostly between Kiaya and Robo. Obviously, you switch the AD carry and the support differential in the bot lane because EasyLove is farming and RedBert is farming, so it's about 300 gold there as well. EasyLove actually going for the Cull as his first buy as well. We're already down to 38 stacks on that, so it'll be a bit of a gold infusion for him, and you can get those next 37 minions.
Yeah, let's just scale. I mean, bot lane's going great for them at the moment. 80 CS through 9 minutes for EasyLove. Cull, as you mentioned already, 63 down of the 100 CS that he's going to need. Solo kill top for Kiaya. I know, math on stream, post Jet Lake, that's proof that I'm
brave.
fine.
Yeah.
Give me another one. What? Do not give me more math. So, moving into River, I think they should be able to secure this pretty easily, especially because Emo's on reset without teleport. But first Dragon, Ocean, 9 minutes, 30 seconds in the game. I think GAM is totally fine conceding this one.
Yeah, just give it up. But as you say, I think the big difference that we will highlight probably a few times this game between this and game 1 is GAM scale well this game. You have Urgot, you have Ahri, who's pretty good in the late game, you have the Zeri, obviously, who does a lot of work, right, if you can get towards that point. Not that Loud don't scale okay themselves as well. Senna, obviously, infinitely scaling, always a benefit, but compared to game 1,
yeah, exactly.
GAM are in a much better position if things are even as we get towards the 20-minute mark as well. And Tofu back, there's the all-out. Kiaya flashes away, Levi looking for this. All out already burnt by Robo. The next wave coming in. Levi will go for the decoy into Cyclone, probably.
I think they definitely want to try this. Ahri moving up is going to be enough. Okay. If two-man dive wouldn't work, but if they bring the farm, they can take him down.
Robo just trying to keep that wave away from the tower. Levi showing. Robo, Q3, Dawning Shadow for the shield. Pathmaker out with the Fear Beyond Death will lock him up. Kiaya almost dies to the tower, just about able to survive, root the next target. As Emo went in with the Spirit Rush, but can't find much more. Croc coming forward. Won't be able to get there in time. Weaver's Wall, everyone gets on the right side of it, but not with the seismic shove back. Elio locked up, didn't have the flash and couldn't get away from Loud's first kill of the game.
Nice seismic shove to really save the play there for Loud, because up until that point, it was completely in the favor of GAM. Just barely staying alive was Kiaya's Urgot at the end of that dive, and we're like, this is what they need to do. We said if they're going to win this game, it's going to be off the back of Kiaya. What does he do? Gets a solo kill, stacks the next wave. They bring the whole team up. They get a second kill for him. And I think he's going to be able to really start providing 1v1 kill threat against the Ksante. And then if he's then able to also be first to the rest of these fights, they'd have a pretty good chance of forcing a game 3 here. And it didn't look like that was even a possibility after game 1.
In game 1, I think we all assumed it would go the way the first series went.
Yeah.
Which was just Loud, managed to get the lead, control the game, take a few skirmishes, win the game, right? But hit Kiaya 2-0 already. We'll have another look at this dive because it's well executed by GAM to escape before that Weaver's wall. Yeah,
Senna ultimate always makes stuff like this way harder. Damage and shielding. Getting that shield at the very end by Kiaya saves him from the turret execute. And then just like a split second of indecision there by the Nautilus. Does get bumped over the wall, then to get bumped back across the wall. Sneaky, sneaky play by Tinowns there to pick up the kill.
Yeah, Tinowns consistently on form so far here at MSI. RedBert down in the bottom lane. 2 plates about to fall off of this tower, as EasyLove should just be able to chunk it out. Don't really think you want to dive the Tahm Kench, just like threaten him in a way. It's like, oh, can you step up for these minions? You're going to take a little bit of damage. We did see in the picture-in-picture a small gank on Kiaya. He was just forced, you know, about 2/3 HP. Didn't have to burn anything to get away, which is good because he didn't have anything. So if he'd had to burn something, he probably would have died.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, the Urgot having the strongest level 12 to 13 spike in League of Legends makes me want to know what that is for all the levels.
Level, yeah. Alistair 1 to 2.
Ooh, that's
because he's nothing before 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
there's no way we can do this now, but it sounds fun to make this list.
Who's Karthus 6? No, Karthus is good enough before
Karthus 6.
No, but he's good enough before 6.
But specifically, it's what is the 5 to 6? So they have to be absolute dog at 5.
Yeah.
It might be Nocturne, but it's a tough one.
I think Nocturne I could definitely see. Robo looking for Q3, doesn't land it. Game, once again, a bit of a slower pace. We've seen a lot of the early games today go along this sort of trajectory as teams unwilling to throw the game or, you know, flip the game in the early game. Only about 700 gold between the two teams. Root at 50 stacks, well, 48. So add 2 to that. That's the maths you wanted.
Yep, you can do that.
48 plus 2 is 50. Yeah.
That's a decent clip. It's always tricky to me with how much they change souls to know exactly what good soul stacking
I usually look
is.
for like 80 at 20 minutes as a rough estimate. Like the 200 on Aurelion Soul at 20 minutes as well. Kind of around where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say either way, like, even if his soul stacking is okay, like, the fact that EasyLove is at almost 10 CS per minute on Zeri against the Senna Tahm Kench means that lane's not going amazingly for them.
Definitely agree with you there. As we see some plates go down in the top lane, plates now falling off. Allowed, got a TP in RedBert to mid just to protect this tower. 6 Grubs and a Drake so far for Loud. They could look towards this Rift Herald as well. Levi on his way, and this is a position where GAM are actually very happy to fight this. If this is voyage forward, there's the dredge line to the back line. Seismic shove going short. Elio low, but so is RedBert. Urgot coming from the top side. Fear Beyond Death doesn't hit, but RedBert will still fall. Dawning Shadow not enough to shield him up. The charm hits onto Root into the hook. And GAM have come alive, but Root was able to flash away and knock back Kiaya under the tower. It's gorgeous from Loud. They turn it on his head as Levi tries to dash away the Heartbreaker over the wall. Levi dashing back onto Root, but Robo there to protect his AD carry. Levi not tanking the tower as of yet, but he has to tank. These fists from Robo. A messy affair, but Loud come out on top.
It looked so good for GAM until it was an absolute disaster. That fight turned. I think it was a Robo Q3 from Ksante that got the massive
that or seismic shove, I'm not sure.
Yeah, massive play. We're gonna get to see a close look of it in the replay because everything was so bad at the start of this, and really Elio turning right there, dodging RedBert's W, getting the hook onto Croc, and making it so RedBert is just in there without getting the initial CC. And sure, he flashes the Urgot ultimate, but he's dead already. And then the re-engage here did look so good. Watch Elio's hook after the charm lands, and then that was seismic shove. that gets them.
Tinowns, man.
And
this
then
guy.
it was Robo with the double shove. That's how they moved so far.
That was so good from Loud, because it wasn't looking at all in their favor at the start. Root getting caught out, RedBert getting killed. Baby on death going wide did help Loud, but yeah, the seismic shove into the Pathmaker back was gorgeous. As Loud managed to pick up the kill. Now 1,000 gold in the lead. They got Drake off that as well. Left the Rift Herald up, I believe. It does seem still to be on the map.
Yeah. Again, I think that's probably the right call.
Yeah.
Like if I'm tier ranking objectives, I think I'm still Team Dragon. Like I'm always just gonna pick the Dragon.
I get that. The only argument I would have is Rift Herald with 6 Void Grubs is a lot of mites if you ride that into a tower. However, you don't have the best turret taking team. Like Senna needs to scale up. Ksante can do it on his own in a side lane, but can't really do it in the face of a lot of people. So you can always fight the Rift Herald later on. Emo's in the bot lane pushing out, has the TP. Tinowns has one of his own, so he's going to go down to match. Croc starting up the Rift Herald. Levi has the Cyclone, has the Flash. Elio has the Depth Charge. Loud currently a little bit outnumbered as Emo will TP away. The hook going down onto RedBert. He's just dead, yeah. Loud just skipping steps here as Root now locked up. Levi flashes forward, Baby on death pulls back one. And Loud skipped so many steps, they tripped and fell down the stairs. GAM collapsed and find 2 kills.
Yeah, Tinowns wasn't even there.
Yeah. Like Emo pushed out bot, TP'd away, and Tinowns was just like answering bot. Loud had already started. Croc going in now. This is a 2v4. Loud, what are you doing, man? Robo gets the all-out across the wall, but Emo can just jump across the chase. Robo getting forced away, misses the Q3, the charm's gonna land, and GAM just absolutely demolished Loud in the fight.
I mean, yeah, he was 3-0, but it's not gonna matter if it's a 4v2. Yep. That was, everything leading up to that was a little bit of a mistake, but that compounded the error so massively. Kiaya already down to stop the turret falling to Tinowns' Taliyah. I believe we're going to see the original engage, and this is just a straight numbers advantage. There's just 4 people versus 3, so obviously they're going to fight. Now, it's 5 people versus 3 as a third joins after one dies. Easy kill again, and just give it up. Like, you're already down 2, but Croc and Robo think maybe they have ultimates. So they obviously were thinking quadra kill, but the result was that they just both died.
And now Kiaya's 5-1 on this Urgot. We talked about him being the key carry. Alongside that, EasyLove still going at almost 10 CS a minute, probably about 9 right now, 165 and 18.5. Has the static shiv, has the zeal, has escaped the early game, 2.5k ahead on this Zeri. Teamfights become a lot easier for GAM. Fighting around the next Drake, which is where Loud will want to take their battle, becomes a lot easier for GAM. Obviously, Loud can give up that dragon, but then you're delaying your soul, you're delaying the ability to close out the game.
Kiaya also just hit level 13,
yep,
which, as we mentioned, is the strongest power spike in League of Legends. What's funny about it is probably nothing is going to change because Robo wasn't going to fight him anyway. But just so people know, like, he's a lot stronger now because his legs respawn in 2.5 seconds.
And with the Black Cleaver already complete, Sterak's on its way for that Urgot. Tinowns still in the lead in the mid lane, has the Seraphs building up towards his next item. There's the Leandries. So Tinowns one to watch in these next fights, alongside Croc, even though he did jump into his death in the battle around the Rift Herald. He is still 1,000 gold ahead, has the Sundered Sky, getting towards his second item, can be very powerful. A single reset is all it takes for Loud to win out the fight. The problem is, it's a lot harder to get that initial reset now.
Yeah, and I think the Whiplash is hitting Loud's decision-making a little bit in this game. Like, they won Game 1 so easily that it felt like Game 2 was just going to be a bit of a rollover. I mean, GAM didn't even switch sides in the draft, where the bans stay exactly the same. We're thinking like, okay, is GAM just gonna like roll over and go home? Clearly not. They did change all of their picks. Kiaya is having an exceptional game on the Urgot, and they're finding the right engages with this Nautilus, which they didn't have access to in Game 1. So, yeah, what to watch in this next fight, it's the setup. Now Loud has taken a hit. I think they're trying to calm down a little bit, and they're trying to set this one up properly. Here's the teleport in. This could be a battle.
I mean, that's Robo, but immediately hooked up. The Pathmaker's going to get him away for now. Stun onto Levi. He dashes away. It's only the clone that takes the damage there. Drake up GAM have control of the river. No real vision yet for Loud. Last embrace on Kiaya. Buffers the staying away, seismic shove just short. Unraveled Earth coming out as well, but no one knocked back into it. Means no stuns occur. EasyLove dashes back towards the lane as Loud tries to get mid-prio so they can get some vision in this river. Emo down towards the bottom side, trying to keep Loud double guessing exactly how they're going to position. The vision behind Loud now starting to expire. There's still one ward around the red buff. Robo stepping into Kiaya, hook just short. Tinowns puts down the Unraveled Earth. Levi looking for the engage. Takes half his health and the seismic shove will pull him back. The Cyclone not doing much. Dawning Shadow across as Elio is the first to fall. And there's the resets we were talking about. Elio manages to dash away, but not before the Intopos bring it back. And he won't live to see another day. Kiaya next up. Loud perfectly take the fight.
Man, that was so well done by Loud. You could tell that they just like took a breath in this game and they said, all right, let's slow it down. Let's set up this Dragon properly. And I actually don't even think they had exactly the tools they needed to if they're playing against a stronger, more cohesive team, because I thought Kiaya should have actually pushed bot lane almost forever. Yeah. They should have had good flank angles behind them, but what Loud did is they just completely focused on mid-prio, waited until they found the right engages, stayed as 5 people, they get the kill. They also pulled a Baron off, so what was an even game because of 2 mistakes is now another large Loud advantage.
About 3,000 gold ahead. We'll see this again because it's Levi overstepping more than anything that leads to GAM losing this fight.
It is, and Levi wanted to try and flank because they had the Ahri in the river, but by the time Loud is fighting this, like, Levi is dead before Emo casts a spell. Yeah. And when you have the strongest player in the game in Kiaya's Urgot, they need to be able to play that better if they want to stay alive at this MSI. But Tinowns steps up, right? The collapse by Loud was decisive when it needed to be. And now that they get Baron, they're just going to go back and run exactly the same play. They're in the river again, contesting this Drake.
And Levi's looking for the flank, but this time Loud have the vision control. Riftail popped in the bot lane, that's going to charge forward, but Loud with the Baron with those 6 mites, or 6 grubs for the mites as well. Croc able to dash away. Lightning Crash out by EasyLove. Elio forced low, down to half HP. Levi took the Hex Gate across. No minion wave here for Loud anymore. But it is on its way, and Baron obviously will empower those minions to push in. Emo, a good path maker away by Robo to buffer out of that charm. Even with the Riptile charging in the bot lane, like, it's killing some minions. Who gives a damn? Instead, Loud will push through mid. They might even look for more. Instead of turning their eyes straight to the Dragon, go for the tier 2. Weaver's wall behind as Levi knocked back.
Nice.
The seismic shove on Kiaya takes him down to half HP. Levi looking for the damage, but he just can't find it. Dredgeline in by Elio. Hits only a minion. The knockback with the all-out as EasyLove has to dash the wall. Fear Beyond Death. Kiaya thought he could put the Pathmaker out into the pool back with a Fear Beyond Death. Means it's a 1-for-1 in that exchange under the tier 3.
I never seen that before.
Yeah, that's you can't be pulled back, but also I'm waiting.
Yeah, exactly. It just holds them both in this stalemate that is going to be broken because the Fear Beyond Death wins. It's an ultimate. Congratulations.
But only when we started observing it. It's Schrodinger's ult, you know? As soon as we observed it, we knew what was going to happen.
I mean, this is a really nice last 4 minutes by Loud. Starting with the first Dragon fight into the Baron, into this push. Like, they know they don't, like, really need to commit that much, right? So they put up the Weaver's wall, they take the turret down, and then we're going to watch this. He does, quote, buffer it with the Unstoppable until he's no longer unstoppable. He was unstoppable for that period of time, and then afterwards, obviously not. But so he dies, but they get the 3rd Dragon. They get multiple turrets in the mid lane. They use reasonable amount of power with that Baron power play, 2,500 gold, and they've, more importantly, regained control of this game.
Tinowns now with 3 items as well. A very strong position on this Taliyah. Push through mid. You can see Robo pushing up top right now. Loud don't really look for the mid lane inhib tower here. It's all about getting the pressure so someone has to answer that wave and then moving the rest of the team up to join this crashing wave with Robo. The Baron has fallen off. Kiaya trying to clear out the wave as quickly as he can. Tinowns on his way across from the side as well. The tower will take a little bit of chip damage. No one really stepping too far forward. And as I say that, down to about a 10th HP. No wave yet here.
And this is where GAM has struggled, I think, all MSI. It's just finding ways to be on the same page, because I think with how strong Kiaya is, you just need to find like an entrance for him in a team fight. But like, no one is ever creating wave pressure for the team that can give them enough wards to actually get someone behind. Like, look at all the control wards that Loud has behind them. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to get flanked by anyone. So then GAM is just forced into like staring at them 5v5, and then they just don't have enough range.
Yeah.
The Senna Taliyah, just way more range, and if there's ever a brute force like engaged by the Nautilus, he's just going to die, and whoever he hooks is going to get eaten by Tahm Kench. So it's a tough life.
Really, you're looking for maybe Levi to take a Hex Gate, get a flank, get the Cyclone, something like that. Is the only avenue back really for GAM. The lineup hasn't had that long together, so it's struggled really to have the cohesiveness that you expect from other teams here at MSI. Loud, after a bit of an upsetting sequence of plays in the early game, have now bounced back, as you say, maybe just taken a breath, reset, understood how they win the game, and have played well to that end. Double control ward. Very important that you're synergistic with your teammates like that. Sure, you have perfect vision. If someone was in that area, even if they'd become the unknown, they'd be seen, I think.
Yeah, okay, nice. Another thing about Loud is, game 1 was a lot cleaner, but personally, I don't think the Nexus takes pictures. Like, if it dies, it doesn't care how it died.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a 2-0 if they win anyway.
Agree with you there. Looking for the tier 2 in the bot lane. You can see Kiaya trying to push sides. Obviously, Urgot relatively good at that, but Loud have all 5 members here. With Weaver's wall goes down as GAM just have to back away from the turret. The inhibitor tower will be forfeit. Kiaya will be able to get a tier 2 and a bounty in exchange, but the inhibitor follows shortly after. Loud might just continue pushing in here.
Wow.
Elio on the wrong side of the map right now, looking for that sneak behind the hook, the flank we talked about.
They have some wards. Just teleport in and send it.
They're sending it. But where is it going? The Dawning Shadow comes out, devoured by RedBert. Going to keep Root alive for the moment. Kiaya trying to get that flank. Levi going in with a Cyclone as well, and Root is the first to fall. GAM have found 2 already. EasyLove dashing forward, looking for RedBert. Instead, he targets Tinowns, flashes forward. Will be able to take him out. It's 2 for EasyLove, 1 for Emo as well. They sent it! And Loud have been returned to center. In the end, Robo tries to survive, tries to take EasyLove down, can't find it. The charm out as GAM fight back.
They did it! That's a 5-for-0 ace! They can get an objective bounty Baron after this as well because it hasn't fallen off yet, and they can actually be ahead in this game.
One moment of decisiveness from GAM has flipped this game on its head. They find 5, they lose nothing, they take the Baron, they did give up an inhib. And the Super Minions are going to begin pushing in. But now Loud have to reset once again. They will be behind in gold, as you say, with that Baron buff.
My God.
Buffing up the gold. You can see the TP behind here.
Look how far back that teleport is. I mean, Loud honestly just got... Once they kill that inhib, they don't have Baron buff. Like, they're not ending the game. Get out of there. So that's going to be the regret that Loud has in this fight, because once, like, you can really see once that Urgot Wukong can actually get in there, they are so much stronger in 5v5. It's just a matter of having the appropriate setup. So that teleport's gone now. That inhibitor was sacrificed. It takes 5 minutes to come back as well. But holy crap, that gold swing is so huge. They're up 2,000 gold now. There was objective bounties like 30 seconds ago.
And 3 items as well on EasyLove. Kiaya and 4 as well with the Spectre's cow complete. It's going to be a challenge for Loud. The Dragon up would be their soul if they can take it. Elio trying to get in, can't quite find the hook. GAM though setting up vision control around the Dragon. Super Minions only about the halfway mark in that lane. Will start to push in. At some point GAM will have to answer that. Elio, the Hex Fight's just in time to avoid the Spectral Morph.
Yeah, so they just keep hitting the Dragon, but I need to see someone on GAM around the top or in mid lane so they have a way of engaging.
Levi, knocked back with the Intofos. Levi unable to get it as Croc secures the smite. Levi in the backline with the Cyclone, can't quite do much as he's being locked up by Robo. Elio tries to dash in, EasyLove takes 1 as Croc falls. The all-out pulls back Kiaya into the middle of the team. The Sterak's shield enough to keep him alive. That's 2 so far. Make it 3, you have to feel. Levi chases RedBert down the abyssal voyage. Only a voyage into the dirt. Levi trading with RedBert. He tries to say the Hex Gate, can't get out. Super Minions in the base. Kiaya will answer them. The Hex Tech Soul secured by Loud, but they lose out on the fight.
GAM does not want to go home. They want to keep playing League of Legends. Unfortunately, that Hextech steal could be the thing that stops them from advancing. So watch this, stolen Hex Drake, so they're now fighting as Hextech Soul, but once they actually get into the fight, like once Kiaya can actually go in after the Nautilus, it's curtains. Like he shreds them so quickly once he's actually in there, and honestly, a very tragic person to pull into your whole team is a level 16 Urgot.
Yeah.
Doesn't even go down. Tahm Kench tries his best at the very end to escape, but another team fight win for GAM. I will say, though, that was still a really sloppy engage by GAM. It's going to make it very difficult for them to win this game because Loud, if they play with the appropriate discipline, will still just have more range and I think wins the straight-up 5v5s. That's why objectives like that Soul or like an Elder Dragon are the windows where GAM can make things happen because it's a fixed point that Loud can move towards, which gives them opportunities to get flanks. So let's see how the rest of this one plays out. The poke is only greater now, though, with the Hextech Soul on the side of Loud.
And with Root scaling up these souls as well, 125 for him now. Only has 2 items on the Senna, not getting too much gold. You can see a 6k gold lead for EasyLove in the AD carry position. EasyLove at 4 items on this Zeri is having a stormer of a game, but will it be enough? Him alongside Emo, alongside Kiaya.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Maybe those 4 items on Zeri is enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, maybe you don't even need to flank. Maybe you just run at him and, you know, sacrifice a few along the way as long as EasyLove can hit. He's almost at 5.
Yeah, he is. He is a beefy boy right now. Inhibitor has respawned as well, giving GAM a bit of extra breathing space in that bot lane. Levi trying to step forward here. Root looking only level 13 on the Senna. One of the weaknesses of this like fasting Senna is you don't tend to get as much experience because you're always with someone. EasyLove 17. Robo 2 levels behind Kiaya. Tinowns and Emo, same level right now. It looks like they're going to path down towards this bottom side. Now Robo should know that something like this can happen. He's just going to push the one wave and then back away.
Yep.
Elio using that dredge line. If you hit terrain, has a shorter cooldown. Just seeing if anyone stays around, but obviously Robo just retreats from the bot lane.
Yeah, this one's going to Elder, almost for sure, unless something crazy happens beforehand. So, man, we really were not expecting a third game after that game one. I just want to say,
I wasn't expecting a third game after the inhibitor fell. Like, they just pushed a little bit too far off the inhib. Like, you literally said just send it because we thought that was the only hope GAM had of getting back into the game.
Yeah. The mental strength of these guys, like, against so many odds here. Kiaya and Levi trying to provide as much continuity, so much roster upheaval in the regular season. The fact that they're competing here is remarkable, I would have to say. So much credit to GAM. It is still... I'm just having a really hard time figuring out who's favored from this point because, like, the Hextech Soul is never going away. The range is still very high, but the Senna is so far behind in comparison to EasyLove Zeri that if there's just the right engage from Nautilus, I think GAM just sends it to game 3.
I think I agree with you. We'll see, though, if Loud take that breath, take that second we were talking about and just slow things down again. At the moment, they have vision control over the topside jungle. GAM will get vision control in the river itself. There are flank TPs here.
Yeah, I love this. I actually think they should just start it and just fight it and hope Loud comes into them. Like, they have enough vision control. They should just be hitting it until they'll actually kill it so fast, but they're contesting here.
Elio hooks only onto Robo. He's chunked out a little bit by Kiaya. Lightning crash down. That's huge, actually. The lightning crash already used by EasyLove. If you can just disengage and re-engage that Zeri, less of a champion than she could be in the next battle.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like the more GAM can just simplify the game, the better. And that's just hit the Baron, have a line, like, which is basically where Loud is right now. And, like, that's when you would turn. They pulled themselves way too far out. They lost his Zeri ultimate. That's not going to be back. I mean, it will be back likely for the Elder Drake, but it's not going to be back for Baron here. Loud is too weak to start it, so I think we're just stalled out until Elder Drake here.
Ooh, Croc almost looking at that Spectrum more there, as you say. Might just be the Elder. It's up in 30 seconds time. Loud invested all their vision control on the top side. How many more wards do they have? You can see RedBert resetting, probably looking for a couple of controls. Has that TP as well. GAM now, darkness on the map for them.
Oh, so scary.
Robo on the front line. Reset coming out as well from Root, assuming that he doesn't have too many wards in his inventory. Elio back on the map as well. Seismic shove dodge. That's the Spirit Rush out though. EasyLove's ultimate about a quarter of the way from being back up. Tinowns has the Weaver's Wall. Can look to separate the play. Maybe you just start the Elder, Weaver's Wall, keep them away. Levi would decoy, flash in, try and get the steal. Kiaya on the front line, Robo looking for him. Seismic shove, dodge, the charm. Onto Robo, look at the damage Devour use. Dredge line in, Robo has to dash away. The Dawning Shadow coming out as well, the Abyss of Voyage away, but it's another charm as Levi finds the back line. A beautiful engage from GAM, who refused to go down without a fight. Croc on the back line, Dredge line's away, but it's only killed off the support. Tinowns still alive alongside Croc. They'll manage to escape and survive to fight another day, but GAM find 3 and only lose 1.
Oh, they're picking mid. I mean, Elder's up. The fact they're pushing this makes me think that they were going for an end. Never mind.
No.
I didn't think they were going to be able to do it anyway. That's why I was getting so excited. But now, GAM is just going to take Elder Dragon, and you can see how strong they are in these 5v5s.
See how quickly Robo just melted on that front line as well. Charm into the shotgun knees, into EasyLove. Loud. Clear out the bot wave, clear out the top wave. They know they've lost the Elder, now they have to delay. They'll lose the Baron alongside it. No way you can fight over it. 2.5 minutes for Loud to think about things and for GAM to try and close out this game.
Loud still has their inhibitors. I mean, okay, watch this one more time. Robo was just kind of fishing a little bit because they knew Wukong wasn't there. I definitely think he didn't expect to get bursted that quickly. And then RedBert, in the effort to save, ends up just getting wrecked by Kiaya. And while all that chaos was happening, there was a window for Levi to find the engage. And that's actually probably one of the best engages Levi has had this game, considering the starter from a 5v5. But ultimately, it's the Zeri. 8,000 team fight damage, completely online, Guardian Angel completed. You're not going to be buying any more big items in this one. Elder Drake makes this an uncontestable Baron. And now it's just about, it's a test. Like, can they actually close it out? We know this team is not an extremely well-coordinated team. They still don't have any minion waves. Like, even though they had the Elder buff and the Baron buff, like, while they were doing that Baron, they kind of had to drop everything, like, forget about the rest of their life, and now they're coming back and like, ah, crap, all this stuff needs to be done. So they got to get waves ready before they do this push, and there's only a minute left on their Elder.
2.5 on the Baron, but as you say, a minute before, Loud will want to fight. Need that Elder to fall off, but even if it has, I'm not sure you get through this Zeri. I'm not sure you get through Kiaya, who's almost full build himself.
I think they try and do it on this wave, unless they're Loud needs to try and get someone like sneak around the side or something to kill these
wave, but you can't. Like, Emo's sitting on top of that wave to make sure it can't push. The Weaver's Wall will separate it. 45 seconds, next wave on its way though. They're gonna have at least 20 seconds with a wave in the base, and this Elder Drake still up.
Last wave, no Weaver's Wall this time to try and shut it down. They do have all their ultimates, but this is GAM. This is GAM trying to send it to game 3.
And they do it. They were backs against the wall, all hope sent as Levi dashes in. The Cyclone Tinowns, the first target. Tinowns with the stopwatch, lightning crash on the back line already. Robo is down. Following him is Tinowns, and that's it. GAM find it out of nowhere, out of nothing. GAM breathe life back into the VCS as they even out the series.
Wow, what a game by GAM. Completely pushed with their backs against the wall. They just sent it in that bot lane fight. They had a deep TP ward that they went on. They finally get the fight for Kiaya to pop off on the Urgot. They got to be feeling great after that win. One more win, and against all odds, they'd be able to move on to rematch Fnatic for that bracket stage.
Like, in all honesty, like, you'd be happy, right? To be able to bounce back from this as GAM in the situation they're in coming into this tournament, being able to pick up a best-of-3 against Loud. Last time we saw them play was at Worlds last year. GAM lost the first best-of-3, won the second. Knocked Loud out of the tournament. Perhaps they're going to do that again here. We will see. We're going to hand it over to the analyst to break down that game and lead us into the final game of the day.
Sorry, better if I have my mic on. We're back here at the desk. Wednesday 2024 as GAM strikes back and guys, we have a series that is not something I would have expected.